This is a typical US Navy replenishment ship. It looks rather ordinary, not much different from a regular cargo ship. Within a carrier strike group, it's the least eye-catching vessel. But this average-looking ship bears the crucial responsibility of long-range deployment. It serves as the fleet's nanny, ready to sustain every ship in the formation. It's an indispensable naval asset. As the saying goes, before troops move, logistics must arrive. In warfare, logistical support is of utmost importance. Take the US Navy's Nimitz-class carrier as an example. Though it's powered by nuclear propulsion and only needs refueling every 25 years, its crew still needs to eat. It can carry only up to 60 days worth of food. Without resupply, they'd run out of food in just 2 months. On the combat side, the situation is even tighter. It can carry over 3,000 tons of munitions and over 10,000 tons of aviation fuel. But that supply is only enough for around 1,500 FA-18 sorties. Given the average 120 sorties per day, the carrier would lose combat capability in under 2 weeks, not to mention conventionally powered ships. So whenever a fleet sets sail, resupply is a must. To put it bluntly, without replenishment ships, the US Navy would be reduced to little more than a coastal defense force, just patrolling near its own shores. Welcome to Military Decoder. This is episode 2 of the Military Sense series. Today, we're discussing naval replenishment. Generally speaking, naval vessels at sea receive supplies in 2 ways. The first method is by connected lines, linking the supply ship and the receiving ship, transferring materials via cables. This is called connected replenishment, CONREP. The second method is even simpler. It requires no physical connection. Helicopters transfer supplies between ships. This is called vertical replenishment, VERTREP. But the 2 methods serve very different purposes. VERTREP usually only delivers goods, rarely fuel. Additionally, each load is typically limited to about 18 tons. This task is usually handled by the MH-60 Seahawk, the naval variant of the Black Hawk. Its cargo bay is modified, with cargo hooks mounted below, for weapon or ammunition transport. Special military slings are used to reduce swinging and shaking in transit. For general supplies, standard canvas nets are used. When the helicopter arrives overhead, it lowers altitude slowly, hovers steadily, and places the cargo on deck. Crew members then manually unhook and release it. Unload completed. Although multiple helicopters can operate simultaneously, VERTREP is still relatively inefficient, and cargo handling poses some risk. It requires high pilot skill. Still, it has its advantages. VERTREP is quick and simple overall, especially when urgent resupply is needed. It's the best method for transferring small batches of supplies. Ships can remain at a significant distance apart and still complete the resupply operation. Next comes connected replenishment, CONREP. Compared to vertical replenishment, this method is far more complex. After all, it involves multiple steel cables between ships with a separation of less than 50 meters. The whole process can take several hours. Establishing the connection is the most critical step. It requires extensive coordination. In addition to radio communication, the ships primarily use signal flags to exchange messages. There are 36 different signal flags, representing 26 letters and 10 numbers. Each flag has a distinct meaning and can be used individually or in combinations. The flag shown above represents the letter R. When displayed alone on a supply ship, it signals that the ship is ready, and resupply can begin at any time. Typically, the supply ship acts as the lead vessel. It sets the course and speed during the replenishment. The receiving ship is called the approach ship. Under guidance, the approach ship maneuvers to the side of the supply vessel and maintains position. Once in place and aligned correctly, crew members begin launching shot lines. They use modified M14 rifles to fire the lines, or strong sailors can throw them by hand. Once a line reaches the other ship, they begin setting up the phone distance line, also known as the PSD line. This part involves intense manual labor. Sailors must pull the line across together. After setup is complete, a flag is placed every 6 meters along the line. These indicate the distance between ships. This allows both ships to maintain a fixed separation with much more ease. The PSD line also provides voice comms, allowing bridge-to-bridge communication between vessels. Next, they establish the pulley system, using manpower to pull the transfer lines over. Once the cables are fully rigged, material transfer can begin. Cargo is packed into pallets. Winches pull the pallets across one by one. After unloading, the pallet is sent back. Each pallet can carry up to 4 tons of cargo, double the helicopter's lifting capacity. For larger ships, multiple transfer rigs can be set up simultaneously to speed up resupply. From ammunition to fresh produce, almost everything can be transferred through this system. Even sailors on board can receive packages from home. The Navy Fleet Logistics Center is responsible for this. They pack and sort all parcels on shore, ensuring every package is correctly matched to the sailor on each respective ship. Then, they arrange delivery by replenishment sequence. If one parcel is misplaced, it could take weeks before it's redelivered. Recently, the US Navy developed a new package tracking system. It has greatly simplified the process. With the system now online, Naval Personnel can receive not only mail from home, but also packages ordered from Amazon. Sometimes sailors buy small items to treat themselves. It greatly boosts morale. Fuel replenishment follows the same procedure. Fuel hoses are attached to the cable system using pulleys. Sailors on the receiving ship pull the hose slowly across from one end until the nozzle aligns perfectly with the intake point. Fuel is then pumped from one tank to the other. Most supply ships can service 2 ships simultaneously. There are cable rigs on both sides. During transfer operations, crew members wear different colored helmets. Each color indicates a specific duty. White officers, white with green cross safety personnel, white with red cross medical personnel, yellow rigging supervisors, green signalmen, red line throwers, purple winch operators and repairmen, blue line handlers, orange cargo inspectors, gray miscellaneous duties. During replenishment, ships are extremely vulnerable. If spotted by enemy forces, they become easy targets. So the faster it's done, the better. Replenishment is typically conducted at 13 knots to minimize wave-induced sway. In rough sea conditions, this task becomes dangerous. Waves may damage fuel hoses. That's why during replenishment, both crews stay fully alert, constantly watching for accidents. At night, ships use red lights to stay concealed. Crew members wear glow sticks on their chests for visibility, so their position is easily seen. After the operation ends, fuel hoses are detached. All related cables are also retracted to thank the supply ship for its work. At this moment, the receiving ship often plays symbolic music. Connected replenishment is the most widely used method in the world today, and the most efficient for large-scale transfers.
Underway replenishment is the primary method that we receive stores, food, fuel, or anything else that we may need while at sea. It's what allows us to sustain ourselves, to stay out to sea longer.
Main methods. There's also a stern longitudinal replenishment. In this method, the receiving ship trails behind. Compared to connected replenishment, it's safer. Ships are less likely to collide due to minor errors in navigation, but this method has many limitations. It can't transport cargo, only fuel, and can only supply one ship at a time, so it's rarely used. Besides that, on aircraft carriers, fixed-wing cargo aircraft can be used to deliver high-value items. Currently, only US Navy carriers and the Charles de Gaulle can support fixed-wing transports, specifically the C-2 Greyhound. With a range of 7,290 kilometers, it can shuttle between land and sea, but its cargo bay is narrow and can't carry much. Typically, it's used to transport personnel and urgent supplies. Those are all the current methods for naval replenishment while underway. Want to know more? Tell me in the comments. We'll cover them one by one. Don't forget the VH Women's Bag I recommended earlier. Perfect for Mother's Day.